Memphis City Council made it clear they want the bodies of Confederate General Nathan Bedford Forrest and his wife removed from the Health Sciences Park in Memphis.
Well, friends, Confederate hysteria has reached a new level. I thought at least once the flag came down in South Carolina that people would go back to watching Dancing with the Stars, but no. The ethnic cleansing of the South has begun 150 years later. Borrowing a page from the ISIS playbook, the City Council of Memphis has historically cast their vote in favor of hate for history to desecrate Confederate historical markers. Yes, you recall the story where the purported ISIS fighters destroyed monuments and graves in an effort to wipe any references to their enemies' past. Well, it's happening right now and by your elected officials in Memphis. After a unanimous vote, the Memphis City Council approved a resolution to dig up the remains of Confederate General Nathan Bedford Forrest and his wife from a public park after being laid to rest there 110 years ago. They're also removing and selling off the statue of Forrest with no regard paid to his descendants who oppose the desecration. Residents spoke out on the issue to local Memphis news. In a shocking twist that would make Jesse Jackson squirm, an American woman of African descent spoke out in opposition to the desecration.
When you are going to take a measure of the man, you measure the peaks and the valleys. And this is right here. This man had a lot of ups and downs. But in the end, what he hoped for was to build a bridge between the blacks and the whites.
Another resident, clearly full of white shame, ignored the truth of General Forrest's existence.
For 27 years, I've passed that statue, and for 27 years, I've questioned whether it's in an appropriate place in this city, in a municipal park, and I don't think that it is.
You know, that guy must have hated the concrete so much to feel that amount of shame every time he chose to walk past that statue. Yes, he chose to walk past that statue. Amazing. You know, they say the victors write the history books. Well, those books were written over 100 years ago, and now landmarks and graves are being scrubbed from the historical record. It gets worse. Hundreds of graves of Confederate soldiers were desecrated at a cemetery when memorial flags were stolen off the graves and found in the garbage. It's not clear if that was the work of the National Park Service, who maintains the Confederate cemetery that fell into Union hands after the war. You know, someone left a comment on our Facebook page about the grave desecration, saying that the bodies of the soldiers were now at peace since the symbol of hate was removed. You know, I responded, my friend, it is you that sees it as hate. To them, that symbol was something they were fighting for. The fight for the right to self-government and against the tyranny of the central government in the North.
A flag that represents genocide.
The sad part is that these politically correct fools are fulfilling the wishes of Dylan Roof, the deranged, mind-controlled Charleston shooter who gunned down those Christian innocents. Roof wanted to divide the country over race. He wanted to spark a race war. And now he's sitting in a jail cell, grinning as he watches America fight over a flag, pop stars with black children targeted, time and tax dollars spent to cast votes in state houses and city councils, while giving the likes of Al Sharpton and his comrades ammunition to further Roof's own agenda. Way to go, Al Sharpton. You just became Dylan Roof's tool. You know, they say the South will rise again, and it will, as long as Sharpton and cities around the nation continue to give them a reason to. Should the United States rewrite history in the South like ISIS is rewriting history in the Middle East? Sound off below. And if you want to show your support for this channel and your right to free speech, grab this badass t-shirt that I designed. Yes, it was already banned from 4 websites, so get it while you can and wear it with pride. General Nathan Bedford Forrest would be pleased. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi.